Hi, welcome to Pandora's Tarot. This is a reading for the sign of Cancer for the month of July 2015. Please remember to check your rising sign and your moon sign. That will give you more info on the energies that you're going to be dealing with in the month of July. But let's start with this reading we have right in front of us, Cancer. I would have to say that the main thing about this reading, like the biggest message that it has, is a liberation. Okay, July is going to be a month of liberation for you. But let's look at the cards one by one. You have in the challenge position the Eight of Swords in reverse. And the Eight of Swords is, this is the card that talks about liberation. Because when we see it in the upright position, we have someone who is tied and, blindfolded, and she feels trapped in this prison of swords. Now, the reality is that no one is forcing this character to be there. So this is a card that talks about self-imposed prisons, that talks about negative thought patterns, because the swords is the element of air and all the mental things. In the reverse position, this means that you're breaking out of this. You're finally finding in July a way to breaking out of this negative thought pattern. And I believe this is the result of a process that has started before the month of July, where you start to realize, Cancer, that you have this negative thinking is something that you have imposed upon yourself. Okay, that no one else has forced you to think this way, and now it's up to you to actually get out of this mentality, because it's toxic, it's not healthy. Now, in the center of the reading, you have another card that talks about liberation and let it go and just going with the flow. You have the Four of Coins, and the Four of Coins in reverse. When we have it in the upright position, it's a card that talks about, holding on really tight to, in this case, your money, holding on and not letting go. We can see that the body position of this character is like his arms are in front of his chest. He's really closed off. In reverse, it means that you're letting go. You're not so stiff. And this is also another thing that comes with this card, is that you have with this card a type of thought where you realize that you have enough. Okay? Because one form of negative thinking is, I don't know if you can see here, this is my cat. Sorry about that. Impossible for him to actually not be in the shot. He just needs to be here. Sorry. Okay, moving on. This type of thinking in the upright position is someone who is constantly worried about not having enough resources. Okay, and that in itself is a form of negative thought pattern, like we talk with the Eight of Swords. Now, being in the reverse, it means that you're being able to let go of this negative thinking. In the position of the help that you're going to receive, you have the Hermit card. The Hermit is a card that talks about going within. About, it's a card that pushes us to take that light that the Hermit has into the darker sides of ourselves. Take this light to learn about ourselves and to know ourselves, even recognize those sides and those parts of ourselves that we don't like that much, that we consider darker, perhaps. It's also a card that encourages meditation, prayer, all those spiritual practices. So perhaps if you had spiritual practices before and you left, you stopped doing them, July would be a great month to start to retake that, to retake those practices. If you have been thinking about doing some of this, July would be a great month to start. It's a month of knowledge, inner knowledge for you, of learning who you are and setting yourself free. Okay, sort of releasing from your chains is the phrase that comes to mind. In the position of the things you cannot change and that you will have to accept, you have a great card, which is the Ten of Cups. It's a card that talks about emotional fulfillment. It's a card that um, talks about us about having a strong family. And we see here in this card that there's a family who has a lot of emotional stability. It has a lot of abundance. The kids are happy. The couple is also happy. So they have a lot, but they are also very grateful for what they have. Okay, they are aware that they're lucky and they're grateful for it. And I believe that in the month of July, Cancer, your family will be your rock. The will be your support. Thanks to them, you will be able to live behind this imprisonment, this mental imprisonment. Now, as the outcome card, you have the Hierophant in reverse again. It's very interesting that you have this entire line here, all reverse cards, but reverse cards that talk about freedom. Because the Hierophant, when we see it in the upright position, it's a card that talks about institutions, many times religion institutions, bureaucracy, paperwork, all those things that are kind of, labeled and they have a very specific process. It has to do with all those bureaucratic things that are very unpleasant and very, kind of like in the opposite extreme of freedom, right? Because when you have to fill out paperwork and all of that, there are specific set of steps that you have to follow, and it's not like you can do it whichever way feels best for you. You have to do it according to an institution, right? So the Hierophant talks about that. Being in the reverse position means that you are setting yourself free from that, from some kind of bureaucratic process. So this could either be that there's a trial, some kind of trial coming to an end, a divorce coming to an end, and you're finally free from that. It can also mean that you are finally being able to leave that job that was stifling and just choking you, and being able to focus on a type of work that is more suited to you. But anyways, regardless of how this actually manifests for each and every one of you, this is a reading, and this is a month for you, Cancer, that is July will be the month of liberation for you, a month of inner knowledge, and a month where you will come out as a different person, a much more relaxed and a much more whole person. So I want to thank everyone who watches and likes and comments my videos. I really hope this is helpful, and helpful in you getting ready for what's coming up. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the reading for next month.